Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Curiosity. I'm Lauren Deliri.
I'm Adam Frost.
And we're so glad that you are here.
So stoked.
We're going to be talking about luxury brands. We're going to
Okay.
be talking about lifestyle choices. We're going to be talking about breaking stereotypes.
I like that.
Feminine versus the masculine. So
Yeah.
buckle up, baby. I have a good conversation interview ready to go.
All right.
For you, Adam.
Is this in collaboration with our listeners?
It is in collaboration with our
Aw.
listeners and with the questions that were asked.
You guys are the best. Seriously. So stoked.
I basically took some of the questions that were asked and expanded on them. And I'm excited to dive in.
Sweet. Let's
You ready?
Get it. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, you know how we do. Before I dive in, I want to read a quick review.
Oh, yes. We get the reviews.
Because those mean a lot to us. Please write a review. If you're listening to this, just write it right now as we're speaking. Be like, oh my God, love you guys. The end. That's it. Okay.
That's it.
Or you could say something like what Raina says, Curiosity is a gem of a podcast. I love the diverse topics and banter. Truly my weekly dose of inspiration.
Cute.
So sweet. Thank you, Raina, so much. That's the cutest little review.
It's our inspiration too.
It's really not that hard. So, leave a review. Do your work, okay? Do your part. Do your
we
part.
show up, we edit, we do the whole thing.
Do your part. No. Love you guys. Okay. All right. Now we can dive in.
All right, let's go. What are we doing? Luxury
Adam?
brands?
No, not first.
Oh.
Adam, what does embracing your feminine side mean to you personally, and how has this journey impacted your self-identity?
Oh, we're just jumping in straight to the deep.
We are.
All right, great. Well, I'm glad I have a glass of wine.
Throwback.
It has been an interesting journey because I think the way that you're framing the question assumes that I lean heavily into my masculine, and it's just so the opposite. I have been on a pursuit for the last, I don't even know, probably, I guess, 3-4 years of our marriage, because I know we were really settled into our reversed roles in our marriage.
We were.
Even in our dating lives,
Right.
obviously, at the beginning of things.
Well, I was in I was in a relationship with somebody who he was hyper masculine, expected super feminine. So when we started dating, it was such a relief for me to be in a relationship where, I was older. I hadn't employed you. I was
Yeah.
really wanted to reverse those stereotypes.
Yeah, of course. And I think too, just coming from the things that I had experienced in my life coming up before I even met you guys, there is just a lot of aggression, not necessarily just in men, but just in general. There was a lot of aggression. There was a lot of combativeness. There was a lot of just around me, the people that I was with. There was some really toxic, problematic men that I did deal with in my life.
Yeah.
And I was so turned off by that entire experience that I leaned heavily into my feminine.
Right.
That's my comfort zone.
Right.
When I can just hang around with a bunch of girls and just chill and have a good conversation and drink wine and do whatever. I'm not trying to play video games. I'm not trying to play football. I'm not trying to bro out with anybody. I'm not trying to I don't know, any of the things that you would assume that a guy, for me, that standard guy would do.
Right.
Is just completely outside of my wheelhouse.
Right.
Even though I grew up doing
Around
combat
it.
sports. I grew up doing that kind of stuff, but that was any kind of masculinity that I ever did express was more of a meditation for myself to rebalance internally what I was expressing externally in an extreme feminine way.
It's interesting because you were just throwing the football on the beach with my dad, and you have been playing video games more often, and you have been back into fighting lately. And we are in a season where we're we've been healing our reverse roles again, our traditional.
Well, you and I always need
stereotype
something
roles.
to break and flip.
Yeah.
That has been the basis of our entire relationship.
Lately, we've been saying things like blue job, and I think I said this before, blue job and pink job. And
we got that from a TikTok couple, whoever that was. It was hilarious.
As a joke, we say it as a joke, but also we kind of
we
mean
say it ironically.
Adam, he has to break down the boxes that we get. That's a blue job.
It's just stuff that happens. She just won't break the boxes down. It's not necessarily that we've prescribed it as a blue job or a pink job.
But we have, because you're the blue.
Because I am the blue in this relationship.
So this is your job.
So this is my job.
it fits the stereotype. And back in the day, we were like so anti like fitting the stereotype.
Okay, so here's how I think it went, and here's why I think that I've finally been able to reclaim some of my masculinity, is because from my perspective, I was able to help heal some of your relational trauma with hypermasculine men and allow you space to heal your feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And once you were able to do that, and I realized we were both sitting deeply in our feminine, I felt like I finally had some space that I could kind of dabble and grow, because I could be supported to be able to do that.
In your masculine.
Yes.
I agree. I think we had some tension like several years ago when we both were like, wait, I want to be like,
I want to be life's passenger princess.
Life's passenger princess. Yeah, we did. I mean, we both were kind of in that. And now I really do feel like it's an ebb and flow. I do believe it's a balance in life, not just between you and a partner, but also like within yourself even. I even know right now there are a lot of ways that I have really allowed myself to embrace the feminine, but there's some ways that I will like being in my masculine. I love making money. Mm-hmm. Like that's something that right now I'm kind of I want to make money in a feminine way though. Like I want it to be in a flowy, like I kind of take like my own time, whatever. But let me tell you, when that cash flows in, like I'm like, yes, honey. And the masculine is all about it's like the giving, and the feminine is about the receiving. So like heart open, that sort of like approach. And so there really has to be like the balance within not just your relationships, but also yourself. Yeah.
Well, you can't do one so heavily. And that's what I was doing for a long time. And I even started probably, I don't know, half of the life of this podcast ago was really talking about how I was experiencing what I considered within myself toxic femininity, because it was in opposition to the masculinity that I would feel naturally come up in me, and I would end up responding deep into my feminine comfort zone to that feeling, and flipping what I would naturally do and how I actually felt about things, because I was so uncomfortable with the expression of masculinity through men.
Yep.
And so I just, it really got to a point where it was problematic for me.
Yeah.
And so, thanks to you, thanks to my own journey and my own intentionality, thanks to trying to heal that internal battle of balance. I've finally been able to externalize a little bit of that. But I'm sure that would come across different to people, either you guys that are listening on the podcast or anybody that sees me, because it's always black, all black everything. It's always workwear. It's always like, and I do work in a wood shop.
You're a big guy.
I'm a big guy. Like, for so many reasons, I would come across as masculine to most people. It's just where I sit within my identity. My ego, I guess, the way that I see it sits deeper into the feminine.
Okay. Now, I do think you are unique in that. I do think like your way of, because of how you grew up and some of the men that were in your life, like you kind of rejecting masculine traits because you kind of saw it through like more a toxic lens, and you recognize that early on. But I do think you're unique in that, and that you gravitated toward the feminine, especially like for men.
Yeah.
But even women, like, we can do the same thing with femininity. There's this whole movement of like, oh, let's embrace our femininity. And it's like, anyway, there's two sides to every coin.
There was so much of the social media version of the feminist movement that was only valuing masculinity that I really had a problem with. Yeah. And that actually kind of was part of what was kind of flipping me back into masculinity.
Yeah.
And because it was in opposition, saying that I have an obligation to live into my masculine so that the feminine energy can be valued.
Yeah.
Or so that I can personally value it. It's not even like I'm not going to shift culture unless I shift my own perspective on things. And if my goal is to constantly be balanced into the like dual masculinity in a relationship, I'm also undervaluing femininity.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a really cool perspective. Okay, so then have you faced any societal or cultural stereotypes while embracing a more feminine side? And then how did you navigate those challenges?
I mean, sure. Yeah. People thought I was gay when I was younger, but I always took it as a compliment.
Like your situation is unique that you were comfortable with it.
Why is it unique that I was comfortable with things like that?
I don't know many men like you who are more comfortable with their feminine that they have to grow into their masculine.
That's so funny to me. I feel like growing into adulthood has been the job of learning my masculine. And I feel like it probably would be that way for people unless they were deeply traumatized as kids, because I feel like being a kid, you do sit and receive. You are so open and receptive to spiritual energy.
Kids exist in the feminine.
You're playful. Yeah, totally. And I think there's masculine pieces that come into that, but I always had an outlet for that was very explicit, like very specifically masculine when I was in wrestling or when I was in fighting or when I was in a very specific thing that was my hyper masculine outlet.
Yeah.
And I loved that too.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I was just living into being a kid, I think it is playfulness and it is growth through curiosity. And I don't think that is generally framed in a masculine lens.
Okay, well then let me ask you in this way. So then what advice would you give to other straight guys who are hesitant or unsure about embracing their feminine side?
Don't worry about what anybody else has to say. I literally have undervalued everybody else's opinion in my life so strongly. I really could not care less about anybody for the most part, but especially what they have as an opinion on how I express myself or exist in the world. It just and not in a negative, it comes across really harsh and negative, but when I am face to face with somebody and I'm having an interaction with them, I want it to be as genuine as it possibly can be. And I don't want to come in with any preconceived ideas of how I want them to see me, or I don't want them to worry about how I view them either.
Yeah.
I just want to exist completely isolated in who I am, and I'll just exist alongside people. And so for me, that was always really helpful because I would have great interactions with people, but at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation even, if somebody thought I was one way or another, it didn't really matter as long as I was good. I would, on occasion, I would kind of run a little scientific study on myself. When people were when it was in the height of people thinking I was gay, I was like, well,
in high school.
Yeah. Because I was never really into pornography. I was never really into anything like that.
Which
I wasn't into girls.
I didn't date. It's disgusting that watching pornography and being in pornography is a masculine that is just
I don't think that's masculine.
Gross.
I don't think it's masculine, especially now. I just mean I never had anything that was representative of my sexuality to myself.
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't dating. I wasn't kissing. I wasn't into anybody. You weren't showing
shy. You or anybody else.
Yeah.
Any kind of sexual preferences.
No. And so when people were saying that about me, I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe they see something I don't see.
Yeah.
And so then that's when I had experimented with pornography. And I was like, no, not into guys.
Yeah.
I'm definitely into girls. This is this is what I gravitate toward.
It was confirmation for you.
Yeah. And it was okay, no, I'm not. So it doesn't, if people think I am, what are their assumptions about me
what does
make
that do
them
to
think
you?
That I'm gay? Because clearly it's not my actual sexuality that they're reading.
Right.
So what is it? They see that I'm nice, that I'm quiet, that I dress well, that I sit up straight, that I
okay, cool, whatever, think I'm gay.
That I'm friendly, bubbly, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Expressive with my actual emotions. Whatever kind of...
It's just comfortable with your feminine side, yeah.
Whatever it is that they were reading in me, I was like, I guess that's a good thing because, I don't want to be like these people.
Well, you're a great conversationalist and you're not a dick. And
I wasn't a good conversationalist back then.
You're shy.
I was so antisocial. So I was like, it's not even that they were necessarily seeing, but I was primarily friends with girls and I wasn't dating.
Likely they wanted to put you in a box because they wanted to understand you. That's usually how it goes. People want to,
which is sweet.
When we're kids, especially, forever, we want to understand somebody else. We don't like to be confused. So in order to avoid confusion, we create boxes and we create labels in our own minds about that person because that helps us kind of put it away. Because if we're confused about something, we will continue to think about it. And we don't like to do that.
You don't like a loose end.
As humans.
Yeah.
And so what we do is create those boxes. And we're like, all right, you're in that box now. I can put you away.
Yes. Yeah, of course. And to me, if you can strip away any sort of, like I was saying even before, any sort of negative connotation that comes with somebody's judgment of who you are in the box that you fit in, if you can strip that away, technically, if they're trying to get to know you better, if they're trying to like fit you into their social life, that's a nice thing to do. I mean, unless they're being, shouting slurs at you and being derogatory, using derogatory language or something.
Did you get that ever? Or was
not
it
that
just
it ever like hit? It didn't ever hit me, so I don't really think
you're like,
so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. It either went over my head or it didn't happen. So I don't think so though. But I was like the kid that would sit at lunch and do my math homework, and then my junior year, the theater kids would come sit around me, and it was so kind. They were so kind about it because they would come sit by me, but they wouldn't expect me to have conversation with them.
Oh,
they didn't like. There was no social obligations at all.
Makes sense that you married a theater girl.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, comfort in the silence.
Yeah.
And also just being able to like, I don't know, exist with people and have different kind of conversations and just kind of flow and be open to anything. Like I feel like that felt really intentional and very like it's super helpful for me to grow my social skills. So anyway, that's who I was, and so like my experience of the social, I don't know, ramifications of everybody thinking I was gay.
Right.
There was none.
Yeah. Well, and the advice you gave was just don't give a fuck, basically.
Why care?
Yeah. Love that. Period. Facts. Drop the mic. Okay. You ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay. Now, we're going to talk about
Chanel bags and Gucci shoes.
Not yet, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You keep jumping the gun.
Look, I don't know how this interview is going.
Okay. Which would you choose? Living in a mansion in your dream location or having unlimited travel for life, and why?
If I'm married to you, home. If I'm single, travel.
Okay.
There's only two versions of me that exist in the world, and it's either married to you or I'm just going to be single and just travel the world. So like both are good, but both are kind of mutually exclusive unless we're traveling together. But even still, I would choose a home over travel, even if it was with you.
Oh, it's cute and it's true for you. Yeah. That makes sense.
I could figure out how to travel.
For me, I was like, oh, definitely a mansion in my dream location. And then I put it as a poll on my Instagram. And I saw everyone voting for unlimited travel. And I was like, oh shit, maybe that's the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I could definitely see myself choosing that, because then if it's unlimited travel, here's how you can look at it.
Yep.
Unlimited travel means you could live somewhere for like 3 months at a time.
Sure.
6 months at a time. Like, it's unlimited travel. So for me, I'm like, okay, if I could live in like France, or I could live in Spain, or I could live in wherever for like 3 months at a time and like have that available to me, I would love that. If I'm thinking like long-term travel. If I'm just thinking like week trips, no, like that's not even really a question for me. I'd rather have my dream location.
Yeah.
So the 3-month trip does make it a little bit more like, ooh, that's harder to choose. However, I think I am going to stick with the mansion and the dream location. Yeah. Especially if it comes with any sort of like, or it doesn't come with any caveats, and it's like, we bought the house and it's like
we're
bought.
not paying like property tax on
right.
it.
like if I just like have the house in my dream location, like no strings attached sort of thing. Yep. That is definitely
oh dude, yeah. I want Kim and Kanye's house in California.
Yeah. Like I want, and I don't even know. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's actually my next question is, if you were to choose the mansion, where would your dream location be and why?
Okay, first, before we get into that one,
okay,
I do actually want to just kind of fill out the rest of that last question.
Okay.
And that is, I think the reason, and I don't know if this is the same for you, but for me, personal comfort is like, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't really carry any value. And so for me, like, I could travel and backpack the world. If I had free travel anywhere, I would totally I would hit hostels. I would go see everywhere. It doesn't, like, I'm not trying to build social structures, and personal comfort is just kind of like, whatever. It's not a necessity.
Right.
But since being married to you, I'm not, I mean, I do want to provide comfort for you, but you have had an interesting way of showing me that valuing my own personal comfort and my own valuing myself enough to be comfortable is something that's beneficial to you, and something that is like, it's like, it's another level of respecting my relationship that's valuing myself and my own comfort.
When you said that, made me think of how you've learned to change into sweatpants when you get home.
Yeah, of course.
Which I'm wearing.
And that was something that you would,
sweatpants.
it's something you encouraged me to do for such a long time. And I was like, ugh, I don't care. I'll sleep in my jeans on the floor. Like,
not okay.
That's what I did on tour because,
not okay.
because I was the only person that was at effect to my personal comfort.
Yeah.
And now, because we have a dynamic of a relationship, like,
I'm like, if you're wearing your pants and you're like, I can see that it's tucking in on your belly and it's like, it seems tight. I'm like, where are you going? Like, I do not settle. I'm like, you want to kick off your shoes? Stay a while? Like,
but also you pick up on the like little micro energies that I give off when I am maybe a little bit uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes your experience of life.
It does.
So like, I just wanted to like flush that last question out because I feel like that's an important piece of that.
Okay. So it really is like for me, like you want the mansion for me and not dream home.
Yeah. And because I'm living in the reality where I'm with you, my perspective on personal comfort has changed.
Okay. Because I don't want to make it sound like I'm holding you back.
No, of course not.
And I see that and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Dream location.
Dream location. Not here.
Ouch.
Ick.
Ouch.
United States.
Oh, not in the States at all.
No.
You're out of here. Okay, where?
So far gone. For me, it would probably be, I mean, I haven't experienced
He's only
places.
ever gone to Cannes, France, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, it's probably like Japan somewhere or something like that.
Yeah.
Where I can get like a super dope.
A mansion in Japan.
I'm not thinking
you
like.
You think I would be okay in Japan?
Yeah.
You think I would be okay in Japan?
Yeah.
We'd have to find the most progressive parts of Japan.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I get that.
You have to sell me on this. Now you got to show me. I'm interested.
All right.
Like different parts. Anyway.
But Norway is really good for healthcare and for gender equality and all this kind of thing. So if you want to go to the cold places that I'm from.
The cold. Okay. This is why the unlimited
These are my dream locations, okay?
No, but this is why the unlimited travel kind of works. I'm like, okay, let's do 3 months in Japan. Let's do 3 months in Norway. So I'll choose the unlimited travel to be in your places.
Very sweet
but
of you.
to not live there forever.
We can do my dream places short term.
Yeah. Well, even my dream locations, I feel like I don't even know them yet.
What do you think that you would love? Because I know we've talked about Nice. We've talked about Italy.
Yeah, but I don't like the French language. No offense. Sorry. But like I don't.
That's such a hot take.
Yeah.
People think that French sounds so pretty.
I don't like it. So no. Sorry.
Sorry, you guys sound bad.
I know. No,
we're not living with you.
No, it's not that it sounds bad. I just like it's not fun for me to say. Like I'll speak it, and I just don't like it. Like it's not fun for my tongue.
What's
I don't
fun
know.
for your tongue?
Spanish, Italian, pretty much it.
All right, so Spain or Italy.
Probably like I just love it. It's just like it's just so much more like swingy and like.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah. So probably it would not be France.
They've got louder personalities.
I've never been to Spain or Italy. But from what I've heard from the people who've been to both, people are like, oh, Spain is so you. Me. Like they were like, oh my God, Spain is so you. So who knows? If it's gonna be like in the States and it's a mansion like New York.
Well, yeah.
Well then you didn't say that.
I don't want to live in the States. I have zero interest in living in the States.
Okay, New York would be good, but then also like San Diego.
Sure.
So we're either like
if we're bound to the States, yeah, New York.
Okay. Now the next question: if you did opt for the unlimited travel, what would be the top 3 destinations on your bucket list?
I mean, we already got 2 of them:
Japan,
Norway,
Italy, probably.
I don't know. I mean, like my top 3 are going to be all adventure. Like I'm not really much for the slow down type.
But Italy could be like an
Travel.
adventure. I would like that too.
Italy could be an adventure.
Okay, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're totally good. I would probably do something like Scotland or Ireland just because the landscape is so pretty.
Scotland. I would like to go to Scotland.
Yeah,
That's my
for
white.
travel. That's your white.
Let's go.
We can go see the Scots.
The Scots. Maybe there was like one of my ancestors, my Scottish ancestors, got in a fight with like someone who was French, and it was just like it just lives in me. You know, I don't like dislike the French, but it's like I'm not gravitated towards it.
It's your no good, dirty, rotten, pig stealing great grandfather.
Yeah, but I've been to it twice in a year, which is crazy because I really want to go to Italy and Spain. But I've been to France.
When we went to France, we just bought all Italian stuff. Ice cream,
honestly,
food, wine.
Yeah. No. I will say the French know how to do
pink wine,
Chardonnay.
They did pink wine as far as I tasted.
Rosé. That was in Cannes, but like in Paris, Chardonnay.
All right, what are your destinations? Spain, Italy, and
Scotland.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Okay, are you ready for the next segment?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, now we're talking about them luxury brands, honey. All right. What are your favorite luxury brands and what draws you to them?
YSL. They're all black aesthetic, super angular, super edgy. I mean, I'm not really into luxury brands. I wear Carhartts every single day of my life.
Well, that's a brand.
It's a brand, not a
necessarily
luxury brand.
But it's a brand.
Yeah. I don't really, I mean, Y3 maybe, which is like Adidas's version of Yeezy.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I've always liked the fact that you knew your favorite luxury brand though.
Yeah.
YSL. Like
YSL every time.
I think that's like, it's like a random attractive quality. Like I'm like, oh, like he knows what he likes.
Yeah.
Versus me. I'm like, I don't know. Whatever's pretty.
You're like, give me the dinosaur purse.
I literally don't care. Like I go through and I'll just like decide what's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't like, there's one of them that I don't really like, but I can't even think of it. I don't really know luxury brands. I'm not going to lie.
Coach has become like the accessible luxury brand.
I do have a Coach purse and I do have a Coach slippers, and it's because it's accessible. I mean, I think each was like $40. So
yeah,
it was like on sale. It was like, we're literally about to throw this away. Do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, but what's the dream one? Even if it's makeup, even if it's like, what is it?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't dream of that. I dream of like air purifiers.
All right, what's the brand?
And robot vacuums.
What's the brand?
Well, there's one called Jasper.
Okay.
That was really
air
nice.
Purifier.
Yeah. And the top of the line robot vacuum would be like my dream. Like I literally
You've
don't care
been
about
this way.
Yeah.
Since you were young.
Yeah, I literally don't care about
bed
brands
sheets for Christmas.
Bed sheets. I was like, I want the highest thread count that you could possibly get me. I think that's what it's called. It was like 1,000 count or whatever, like 100, 400, like thread count.
And how old were you?
At that point, I mean, I was younger than 12. I was probably like 11 or 10.
Wow.
And I asked for bed sheets more than once. Like I got them, and then I was like, I want these
I
now.
Need new ones now.
I want this kind.
Like you're supposed to refresh these every 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long, but yeah. So anyway, it's like lifestyle stuff, like luxury brands. I even went when I was in Paris and I was like shopping with my girlfriends, like in those stores. And it was fun to like get dreamy eyed, starry eyed with them for them, but I did not give one single shit. Like I really don't.
Okay. Let's try to pare this down. If you had a pair of shoes to get, what would you get? One pair luxury shoes. You going like Louboutins?
Brand?
Yeah.
Like brand?
Yeah.
Or vibe?
You going like Louboutins? Are you going Balenciagas? Are you going...
Not Balenciaga.
Okay.
Louis could be interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. I would just have to decide based on
There's
how
some dope Chanel shoes.
It looks. There are some cool Chanel shoes.
Who is that's doing that now? Pharrell? Is he with Chanel? I think he's doing Chanel streetwear.
See, and I like Chanel. I do like Chanel. Mm-hmm. I will say I have liked Chanel, but I like the streetwear Chanel stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Like I like the stuff that's like edgy version of Chanel.
Yeah. So you do like off-white Nikes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Sick. Okay.
Like
Dior.
anything streetwear.
I actually really like Dior's when they go super like retro futuristic cyber style. Like they've got a few things that are like high chrome style and they're like all metal, super dope.
I really like that. Same. I'm the same way. Like it's like anything that's like take your main thing like and then make it a little fugly. And I'm like, okay, I'm into that.
I mean, there's definitely like there are techwear type brands that I really like. Like the two pieces that I have that are techwear are from Gorilla Group. But if I was to get like a Grail piece, it would be from like Acronym or somebody like that.
See, yeah, I have like ethical, organic brands that I want to get stuff from.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't care about the luxury brands. I will say, I think one day it would be nice to have like I got the slippers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want like athleisure, athletic wear, pajama, like I want the random things from a luxury brand.
Yeah. Totally.
Like I don't want a purse. I'm just gonna say right now.
No.
I do not
That's
want.
why I didn't ask if you wanted a purse.
Like I
was
literally,
like shoes would be the only thing that I could see.
It's like the diamond thing. I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but like I don't want a real diamond for my ring. I don't want it. Like even if we had all the money, I don't want that. Like I want maybe like a nicer looking fake diamond, but like that's it. Like I don't want a real one.
Yeah.
Because it would give me anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to precious things around.
No.
Like I'm not precious with stuff. So I wouldn't want a purse. So it's not like on my bucket list. So that's why I don't think I've ever like looked into it, because I feel like all the girls are like, they want this XYZ like luxury brand purse. I'm like, I actually do not want that.
Yeah.
But like a duffel bag.
You would just be into like, what if I went and like bought you a 2-piece set or a dress or like a sick pantsuit?
Yes.
Then you're like, what brand name is it?
I'm like, sick.
You're like, you chose it. What do you want? What was it that you thought was like, no, not you chose it. You're saying, I mean, like you would be saying like, you chose it, whatever brand it is, it's going to be mint.
But it's got to be like, yeah. So anyway, it's just anything but purses, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purses are, I'll get you a sling or a backpack or something.
Yeah. Or like a big duffel bag, like an old school, like suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
Into that. Like a really good suitcase. That would
you
be
talking
fun.
like a briefcase?
Yeah. Or a suitcase. Or like a duffel bag.
Suitcase?
Like a workout, like a big old school kind of duffel bag.
Yeah. Like my leather one I got.
Yeah, like that. But like luxury brand, that'd be sick.
All right.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
Well,
we're just kind of scrubbing usually. I mean, not even scrubbing. We look good in 5-year-old black t-shirts, Carhartts, Goodwill, Snags.
This is literally from Plato's Closet.
Yeah.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, and you'll probably see clips too, but like I'm wearing a
silk
cute
top with sweatpants.
And
it's
that's
a vibe.
Just how my life works. Like I need my top to change because of clips and like social media clips and stuff. But like my pants, like I have to be comfortable. I'm sorry. I'm wearing Adam's Nike sweatpants. Yeah, I was gonna say, how do luxury brands inspire you in terms of personal style or lifestyle aspirations?
Oh, techwear does a lot.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, there's so many things that I try to emulate in techwear and like skate street stuff.
Yeah.
And I like to kind of push the envelope a lot. Like I'm usually trying to do something that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I bought huge Osiris D3s and wear those around. And I had the Hoka huge trail running shoes that were like massive on the front and back. And it's like, I can see how I can style it and how I can utilize it in my daily life.
Yeah.
And I can also see how like I could maybe see how people would bridge to this. And like now what do they call that? It's like an outdoor aesthetic that's coming in that people are wearing, where it's like they're doing Gore-Tex pants.
You're
and
so
shoes
much more
and
into
like,
the fashion world than I am.
I'm like into the textile stuff. I'm not really into the fashion stuff. I'm like, what is the functionality
but
of
that
it?
is like fashion. Like I feel like it's always on the cusp of fashion. And like people think I have fashion. I'm like, I don't. I don't.
You do though. You have a vision for what it is that you will look good in.
Yeah, but like This is why I need luxury brand items, because I want to wear like a set. Like a simple
I get that.
set. I don't want to think about it. Clothes, and this is also why we have a meal, what is it called? A meal plan, meal kit, meal delivery, whatever. Meal delivery I don't like thinking about what I'm eating or what I'm wearing. I don't like thinking about that. I'm thinking about so many things in life, like so many things. Like I'm thinking about the way my brain works and everyone else's and the universe and the magic of everything within. I don't want to think about my clothes. I don't want to think about food. And so if I just had like a stylist come through and gave me like, if I tried it on, I was like, this is comfy, this is organic, and this is like, I have like 6 of the same shirts and it's like a vibe, but it's just like all the same, like sick. I would love that. I would love like a uniform. I just haven't like gotten to that point because all of my stuff that I want, like one top is like $150. I'm like, I don't think I'm willing to do that yet.
Yeah.
One day, yes.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like luxury brands don't mean anything to me because I'm like,
the only person that I actually personally have known that's doing some really sick stuff right now in the like streetwear space is Tarpley. It's so dope. He was one of my regulars at Kettner for a long time, and he did art at the time and was kind of dabbling into like tech wear clothes, basically. But he was also vegan, and so that was one of the biggest things that we went into. And so he was figuring out how to do like technical wear, leather made out of like apple skin and
pineapple
like pulp.
Skin.
Yeah, all sorts of like banana leaf stuff.
Oh, that's what it is.
His stuff is so cool, and he's been featured the last like 2 years on Hypebeast, and he's gone out to Paris and New York Fashion Week.
He's
like
me about
he's like doing it,
yes.
and the way he designs and the cuts that he does on clothes, because it's not like, obviously he's not just putting like graphics on t-shirts or anything,
right?
Like he's legitimately like sourcing all of his textiles. He's going out designing, drawing, fitting models, doing. I mean, he's doing. What a
shout out too.
It's so sick. Yeah, his stuff is awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, his name is Brooks. He's so cool.
Look him up.
His stuff is really neat.
What is it?
It's Tarpley USA, I believe.
Tarpley?
Tarpley, Tarpley. Yeah.
Okay, check it out.
It's so dope. If you're curious what I'm into, whatever he's doing right now, he's really pushing the envelope.
His
stuff's dope.
Okay, getting an insight of Adam's little like special interest.
Yeah, just get me talking about tech wear and I'm in.
I love it. Okay. Well, that does wrap up the show. Is there anything else left that you would like to say to the Curious Cuties before we sign off?
Thanks for giving us space to have big conversations and stupid ones.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. We love you guys.
Yeah.
And, until next time, stay curious. Love you. Bye.
Bye.